When did you have to choose between two lives? I still remember asking for the keys that night, telling my dad he looked too tired to drive us home. Then, the next thing I saw was when I woke up to bright hospital lights and heard a nurse calling for the doctor. He's awake. I had a concussion and a shattered collarbone, but as soon as I asked where my family was, the doctor's silence said everything. Mom and dad both lost their lives. My little sister Callie was on life support. My little brother Ethan had critical heart failure. And me, I was left basically unscathed. As the oldest surviving family member, the doctor said, these decisions fall to you. Through all my grief, he slid the piece of paper over to me, and my heart instantly shattered again. He took me to the room where I saw both of my siblings on beds, both in critical condition because of me. The doctor sat me down and told me, Callie's brain is showing little sign of hope. The machines are the only thing keeping her alive, but she might never wake up. I could barely hear what he was saying through my sobbing, as he told me that Ethan was dying too. The crash had destroyed part of his heart. He was on medication, but it wasn't enough. He'd live 3 weeks, maybe 5 if we were lucky. If he wants to live, he needs a transplant, his doctor explained. The sooner the better. His body is getting weaker. And then came the decision waiting for me this whole time. He told me Callie was a perfect match. Same blood type, compatibility, everything. Her organs were pristine, protected by airbags that couldn't save her head from being smashed. If you decide to let Callie go, the transplant coordinator said carefully, her heart will save your brother's life. The papers sat on my hospital bedside table for days. Organ donation consent. Every night I'd stare at them, knowing that my signature would end her life and save Ethan's. I spent days staring at them both, Callie to Ethan, back and forth. A security guard started bringing me coffee because I never left. Callie looked so innocent, so much life ahead of her. No visible injuries, just laying there asleep with tubes and wires covering her body. Sometimes I'd tell her about the accident, say I was sorry until my voice went raw, wondering if she could still hear me. Ethan was getting worse by the day, 30 pounds gone. He was too young to know what I was sitting on, and that he would die without his sister's heart. Remember when Callie made us matching friendship bracelets? He asked one day. She said we'd be connected forever, right? The nurse told me about how her organs would save other lives too, and gave me a list. A 5-year-old waiting for a heart, a mother of 3 who needed a liver. Numbers on a page, but behind each one was a family praying for a miracle. I had nightmares about the accident every night, but before I could pretend I saved them, I'd wake up. Callie would still be breathing through machines, Ethan would still be dying, and I'd wish I could give my life to save them both. 2 weeks after the accident, the doctor pulled me aside. You need to make a decision, sir. He showed me Ethan's latest tests. 5 days, maybe 6. After that, he'd be too weak to survive the surgery. I found myself in Callie's room at 3 a.m., holding her hand. She was supposed to be going into high school next week. She was top of her class, her whole life ahead of her, and I was just existing. I whispered to her I was sorry, and that it should have been me. Then her hand twitched. I ran to grab a nurse, but she told me it was just a reflex. But for a second, I let myself believe she was squeezing back, telling me it was okay, or maybe telling me to fight harder for her life. They told me I had to decide that day. I drove to the crash site and saw someone had left flowers, a small cross with our family name. I sat there for hours, trying to remember those last normal moments. Callie was singing in the back of the car, Ethan asking Dad about school supplies. When I stopped sobbing, I went to the hospital and found Ethan in Callie's room. He'd wheeled himself down from treatment, IV still attached. She loved elephants, he said without looking up. Remember? Said they never forget family. His hands were shaking, but he was still trying to wipe away his tears. I want to remember her like this. I know she'll never be the same. She's gone. I signed the papers that afternoon. My hand shook so badly the signature looked nothing like mine. 2 days later, they wheeled Callie into surgery. I kissed her forehead and whispered, I'm sorry, and said goodbye forever. Her heart saved Ethan's life. A little girl got her kidneys. 7 lives she saved in total. 7 people who won't feel the pain I do. Callie will forever be our hero.